So I've heard you say that the United States is in a civil war, and I think most Americans don't perceive that. Can you tell us what you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by a civil war, I should say a type of civil war, right? And what I mean is that there are irreconcilable differences that each side is willing to fight for in order to get the outcomes that they want. And that in that environment, the issues of how does the legal system work? Is that going to stand in the way of that fight? Or is there going to be a fight that will make the cause more important than anything? So that's the type of situation that we're in. And those gaps, we understand there's wealth and values gaps that are entering into this. This is, we've seen this through history. So where that goes is a different question, but we are in that type of civil war, are we not?
Clearly we are. How are they resolved? I mean, clearly they can be resolved through violence, but what are the other ways you resolve the kind of conflict we have?
Normally, they're resolved through conflict because you get to the point where both sides can't reach agreements. Both sides don't even want to talk. Both sides don't want to respect the rule of the law. So when we're dealing with things like sanctuary city issues and we're dealing with enforceability, who has the enforceability? Okay, and you almost have to play out. Okay, enforceability means police forces and such things.
Right, people with guns, yeah.
People with guns and, causes that just because the legal thing says they shouldn't do that, that's not going to stand in the way. We have that kind of a situation. So we are probably past the point of being able to resolve that by compromise and empathy and all of that. So normally it goes that way. I mean, the only thing that can be done is to have the fear of that create a necessity for having another path,
And millennial men have a problem right now. So I was scrolling through X and I found a tweet that said 80% of single men are no longer interested in dating. They aren't even trying. Why is this the case? Well, somebody responded and said it's simple. Many men are focusing on self-growth, career, and building futures.
That's what we do, right? Yeah.
The energy spent on dating often feels wasted when there is no alignment with purpose or values. Men are learning that personal success and fulfillment come first, not chasing empty connections. As who has been in the tech industry for over 6 years and goes to a plethora of different networking events and conferences. And I will always say that you can do both. You can fulfill your dreams of dating and getting a good career at the same time. So I wanted to chime in on this and give my perspective as somebody who has been in the tech industry for over 6 years and goes to a plethora of different networking events and conferences. And I will always say that you can do both. You can fulfill your dreams of dating and getting a good career at the same time.
No, it's really scary stuff because I read this statistic recently. It's really scary stuff because I read this statistic recently that said that there's somewhere in the neighborhood of 30+% of women are single, but it's in the neighborhood of 60% of men.
Really?
Yeah. See if you can find.
Really high.
I know.
In what age group?
Really high. It's 18 to 49 or something.
Oh,
like that.
wow.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's young men.
It's a shockingly high.
It doesn't make sense, like why there's such a disparity between the genders. That men are so much more single than women. Like that doesn't even jive.
Yeah, how does that
like
make sense?
Most men are single, most young women are not.
Maybe the guys are just saying they're single, and all the girls are like, we're in a relationship.
It is just a research, right? So it's just a survey, I would imagine. 30% of U.S. adults are neither married, living with a partner, nor engaged in a committed relationship. Nearly half of all young adults are single. 34% of women and a whopping 63% of men. How does that work?
So there you have it, right? So the question is, where is all this going? Right? Where is all it going? I think Ray Dalio, the clip I played at the beginning, basically lets you know something that I knew was coming a long time ago, right? And so, and I think Rogan, Rogan's like, oh shit, this is scary. Exactly. Exactly. Right? When you got, 80% of men giving up on dating in America, in the West, right? 80%. And I said this, you go back and look at one of my videos, I don't know if they took it down or not. I talked about the same thing probably about a year ago. Maybe less, maybe about 6 months, 8 months. Right? I said, when this is going to get to a tipping point, and that's what Ray Dalio was talking about when he says civil war is going to be a civil war. This is why. When you got 60, when you got like 60, 70% of men without a girlfriend, single, no fiance, no wife, no kids, no home, no nothing. They have no investment in society, right? What do you think gonna happen? What do you think is going to happen to all these men? These are men. These ain't women. If they said 60, 70, 80% of women were single, you wouldn't have a problem because women ain't gonna bust a fucking grape. Now, men, on the other hand, are a problem. You see? Because men fight wars, as Ray Dalio said, and you're looking at a civil war. Right? You're looking at a barrel of a civil war. Right, matter of fact, the civil war is going on right now. That's what you see Trump doing. Right? This whole thing is, like Ray Dalio said, these are irreconcilable differences. Ray Dalio is a billionaire, by the way. Right? He's not just some clown that Tucker Carlson found hanging out drinking behind the 7-Eleven. One of the most successful, investors of all time, in recent history, right? Multi-billionaire. That's why Carlson's talking to him, right? And he's been saying that for a while. But now you see how it's playing out. What do you think all these men are going to be doing in the next couple of years? Just hanging around watching porn, playing video games, jerking off? That's what you think gonna happen? You thought wrong, right? This whole thing is backfiring, right? Because then you got multiple different groups of men. You see what I mean? You got Hispanic men, right? Then you got black men, you got white men. America is just not one group. And everybody has, like Ray Dalio said, irreconcilable differences. And the things are worse within different groups. You see? And then Trump is full of shit. I mean, if you go back, I showed videos, right? Showing that he's not really deporting anybody. What do you think is going to happen when the white men realize that Donald Trump is full of shit and he can't really deport these people. And he's not going to deport. It's all for show. What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to be upset? Right? Then you got the black men, if they ADOS, for instance, and they under pressure from all of these illegals, and they see the whole thing is fake, which they probably already knew, they're going to be like even more pissed off. Not to mention, the anti-black racism you're getting from all these immigrants, illegals, and immigrants, and just in general, and white people. Then you mix that in the gumbo, right? Then you got all these illegals feeling like they under pressure from, it's all propaganda, but they feeling under pressure from, the administration just pushing the propaganda and getting them riled up, right? All these illegals and their cousins and all the anchor babies getting all riled up, right? And shit, instead of blaming white people, they'll turn around and blame black people, even though black people have no political power in the U.S., right? So you have all of this going on, right? What did you think was going to happen? You see? And so on top, so then you notice, even Joe Rogan, right? You notice, oh, wait a minute. He said, this is scary. What's going on with all these these men? So while the chicks is whoring it up on OnlyFans and Instagram and Tinder and social media, right? Where you got 70% of women, they good, right? Even the low hanging fruit, the hoes, the fat bitches, right? Bitches with kids, they good. They can always find some stray dudes, right? Some stray simp dudes or whatever. But the dudes is trying to have standards, and the dudes is like, yeah, nah. They starting to realize that they the odd man out. What do you think gonna happen to all these men? See, like I said, if it was women, it wouldn't be a problem. Women ain't gonna bust a fucking grape. Women only get allowed to do what men let them do. What happens when men don't let you do it no more? You gonna fight? Or we gonna have what do you think this is? Themyscira, and you gonna have a bunch of female Amazons gonna come and beat up all the men? This ain't a movie, dog. This ain't no fucking movie. Women only do what men allowing them to do. And then you have a weakening of the men. But what happens when it snaps, and this whole goddamn thing, bow, snaps in half. And all these weak men start to snap and say, fuck that. Right? Fuck this shit. Ray Dalio said it. He said, people have irreconcilable differences. They are not going to go quietly into that good night. Just watching porn, banging off and playing video games. Right? While getting spit in the face by, everybody on all different levels. Right? I mean, the illegals and the rest of the immigrants, they ain't got no gripe. Because they've been getting the long end of the stick. And nobody's really been deporting them motherfuckers over the past 20 years. They've been getting a free ride to do whatever the fuck they want in America. But the other groups, they'll probably get riled up anyway. But the other groups, the Negro and the white man, shit like that been here, now they're gonna get riled up too. So you gotta mix that all in a pot, like gumbo. Right? And then you got all of these men, right? Young men, right? That they really, and then the job situation is fucked up, right? You got to compete with all these illegals. You got them driving down salaries, getting sold out by the corporations that want their illegals in here. You got Trump faking like he really deporting people while he's not really deporting any fucking body, and he never has. Go look at the numbers. If I'm lying, I'm flying. He's never deported any fucking body. Never. It's all propaganda. Out of every president in the past probably 30 years, he's deported the least. That's a fact. And then you already saw Musk and the others, they're like, we want this cheap labor. We want the leverage in the job market. To bust the unions with all these illegal immigrants and these immigrants. They drive down wages and bust the unions, etc. And he definitely Mr. Corporate America. So it all makes sense. Right? So you mix it all in a pot like gumbo, right? And at the same time, See, Trump don't give a fuck about. You think Trump realized that people like Donald Trump, now Ray Dalio realizes what's going on, but you think somebody like Donald Trump realizes what's going on? He don't give a fuck. Him and all the corporate, fascist, scumbags that run America, sitting at the top. You think they give a fuck if your son finds a wife, gets married, have kids, and buys a home? They don't give a fuck about your kids. You think they give a fuck if your daughter is, selling bots on Instagram and Facebook? They don't give a damn. Because that's what they're doing. This is America. Right? And you at a tipping point where you got 60 to 80% of young men single. No dates, no nothing. They got nothing. They got porn and video games. And go to work, go to your shitty job, right? With no upward mobility. Like Joe Rogan said, this is scary. Right? And you already in a slow-moving civil war. That's what all the firings in the government is about. That's what all the UFO shit is about. That UFO shit, you think, you wondering what's that about? All these UFO hearings. That's what this shit is about. It's a civil war. They want the tech, right? They want to dismantle these motherfuckers with access to the advanced tech. Trump and his factions on the outside, right? And then you got the motherfuckers on the inside that's controlling them. You see? Everything is all different parts. Mix it in a pot like gumbo. It's all different parts in the mix that's in this soup, right? And you can't understand how it all fits together. You said, man, how does this, why do I care? I don't have a son. You might say, people just ignoring shit, right? They don't understand how things connect, the underlying parts of this. Like Ray Dalio says, he's been analyzing this shit and connecting the dots. He said, this is a civil war. And it's going to end in shooting. It's not just like, he's not just being bombastic. The man said it. He said, this is going to end in people shooting. Because people have irreconcilable differences. You see? Donald Trump, all these people, you think they can fix the fact that you got 60 to 80% of young men in the United States that can't get a date, don't have a girlfriend, no fiance, not getting married, 80% divorce rates, all kinds of shit? What do you think all these men gonna do as they become disenfranchised? These different groups got different irreconcilable differences, right? I mean, let's say he really put the pressure on these illegals. You got 25 million, you got 20 million illegals. Let's say he do the 14th Amendment, get it revoked by the Supreme Court. You got probably like 30 million motherfuckers that gotta go. You think they're gonna go quietly? They already running down the block with their Mexican flags and all their different flags from other countries. Running through the streets of America. Rioting and blocking traffic. If he really put the pressure on them, what do you think they're going to do? Yeah, we ain't going no fucking where. Make us leave. That's what they're going to say. You want us out? Fuck you. Make us leave. Boom, pow. Right? You know what's coming next. Kaboom, pow. Right? Ka-chow. Ping, ping. Right? You know what's coming next. You got 20 million illegal motherfuckers running around that don't want to leave with foreign flags, flying foreign flags. Then you got, right? Then you got the disenfranchised Negro who is at the bottom, below even probably the illegals in most cases, in these immigrant class. Already, on thin ice. Economically, right? As far as their families, economically, everything else, feeling the pressure, right? Getting shitted on, right? watching they, whole families be dismantled and people prioritized over them. You see? They're not going to be a group of happy campers. And of course, back to the Saltine team, right? The Saltine team, Brad and them, they going to know, as they notice this whole thing with Trump and these illegals, it ain't going nowhere. The walls ain't getting built. Still got illegals coming in. Still got 20 million motherfuckers in here, ain't going nowhere. They get more and more pissed off. You don't get it. Ray Dalio tried to explain to you. Even Joe Rogan said, wait a minute, this is scary. Why would all of these single men be scary to Joe Rogan? He's an intelligent dude. Right? He's a very slick character. Don't sleep on him. Extremely slick dude. Right? Why would he say, wow, this is scary? Looking at this report of 60 to 80% of young men in America, single, no dates, right? Very little dates, no fiance, no marriage, no girlfriend, no nothing. Right? Ray Dalio told you. You see, in the beginning clip I played. I ain't gonna make this too long, and belabor the point. I think you get it. Either you get it or you don't, right? Like either you're too stupid to connect the dots or you don't. Even if somebody like I rolled it out for you, but people may not get it. Like my mother, I said that to her. I said, it's gonna be a civil war in America. The same thing Ray Dalio said prior to me watching the interview with him. I seen his interviews before, but I already knew that. I said that to her. She said, what do you think all this, election and Donald Trump? I said, this shit gonna be a civil war. The fuck you think? She's like, sound like a plot for a movie. My mother's a fucking goofy. That's why I don't really talk to her. She's a goofy. But if I was a white, she's a goofy and a coon. If I was a white billionaire white man like Ray Dalio and I said it, then she would be like, maybe you're onto something. She wouldn't be telling me, oh, sound like a good plot for a movie. I mean, this is the state of, that's why you never listen to women. I don't give a fuck if it's your mother, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. Be the man, lead, think for yourself. Never listen to women, particularly the Negro women. Particularly Negro women in America. They fucking gone. Take it from me. You got one or two here and there. Shout out to, a couple of my cousins, right? Fucking solid women. The rest of these broads, fuck them. They done, they toast. They toast in America, right? Got one or two here and there that's solid. Hold down their families, their husbands, you know what I mean? One or two here and there. I got a couple in my family, you know what I mean? I gotta salute them. Holding down holding their families down, right? They ain't out in these streets. But as you can see from the numbers, 70%, that's 70, 80% of women is in these streets. They not single, right? They not single. Or, I don't know, they may be single, but they involved. You see what I'm saying? They got situationships getting passed around on social media. The scales is unbalanced, right? It's going to end bad. Because all of these dudes is eventually going to start figuring shit out. They're going to get disgruntled, right? They're going to realize that nobody's trying to fix their problems. And they're going to realize the problem particularly with their families, women starting a family, having a wife, and all that kind of shit is getting ready to be unheard of for them. And the old saying goes, when people lose everything, they lose it. They put under pressure by all these illegals, putting their salaries under pressure and their job opportunities. And then on the other hand, they look over here, you know what I mean? And they see all these feminist Nazis, these feminazis, right? Horning it up everywhere and laughing in their face and spitting on them, fucking over their kids, turning their kids into degenerates. It's just that shit is a ticking time bomb. Like Joe Rogan said, this is scary shit. And now we at the tipping point. I said that shit. We at the tipping point now. Because, I mean, if you're talking 60, 70, 80% of men, you know, having issues with, you know, they just single, you know, nothing, no outlook for the future, for a family, you know what I mean? Owning a home, different things like that. Jobs, you know, going downhill. What do you think gonna happen? We done hit the tipping point now. What you see Trump doing is part of the Civil War. It's him waging his little, you know, I don't know, you know, firing the shots. You know, shots fired, I guess, kind of. You know what I mean? We're firing all these government workers and all this bullshit, right? Notice, he talking about they stole all his money. He ain't locked nobody up. You noticed that, right? They stole trillions of dollars, 100 billion. They took the billions and billions over here. They stood, Okay. You doing shit for the cameras, homie. You doing shit for the cameras. All this illegals, and we're going to get the illegals. We got Tom Homan over here. He doing an interview. And we got Dr. Phil over here. You doing shit for the cameras, homie. You ain't even deport nobody. Stop the bullshit. Right? See, the shit gonna get real. That's all, like, Donald Trump comes from reality TV. But real TV is about to, you know what I mean, take place. The real shit is about to go down. It's gonna go down. Right? Donald Trump is a reality TV star. So what he's giving motherfuckers is the reality TV. Right? The real shit gonna go down though. Like what Ray Dalio is not giving you reality TV. You better listen to Ray Dalio and not Donald Trump. Because like Dalio said, people have irreconcilable differences. I would agree. I concur. I'm one of those people. I have irreconcilable differences with people. I'm not interested. I don't want to hear your bullshit. I know you're not deporting anyone. Right? I know you're not really building a wall. I know you got 25 million motherfuckers in here depressing my salaries and making it hard for me to make money. I know you got these feminazis, you know what I'm saying, degenerating my children. You see? And turn them against me. Right? Et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? You see all the degeneracy, all the bullshit. So like he said, you have irreconcilable differences with these people. I know they would never give black people reparations while giving illegal immigrants billions of fucking dollars. I know they would never give black people reparations while sending billions of dollars to an apartheid state like Israel, a racist, fascist apartheid state like Israel and Ukraine, and Egypt, and all these other shitholes. Right? Irreconcilable differences. See, the reality of all this shit, everybody is going to start to catch on. Not just me. Everybody's catching on. Joe Rogan caught on. He said, God damn, this is scary. You fucking right it is. I guess. Not really. I ain't really scared. Some people, I guess maybe, you know, he's a white man. He kind of scared. Because this shit going to tip over. You see? When you got 25 million illegals running around. And when your white counterparts, Donald Trump, figure out that you've been jerking them, right? Jay Jerkin, your name ain't Donald Trump. Your name really Jay Jerkin niggas. When they realize you're jerking them around and all these illegals ain't going nowhere, and they son can't get married to a decent fucking woman and buy a house and move the fuck out, He in their basement watching video games, beating off all fucking day, working as a little part-time shitty job. People start realizing, man, this is bullshit. Right? Then what? Now you got real problems. You see? Like Ray Dalio said, irreconcilable differences that's going to be handled through violence, unfortunately. And he's right. I quote. He's right. Like Rogan said, this is scary. You're goddamn right it's going to be scary, but it is what it is. This is what we come to. Anybody could have, Ray Dalio is not Nostradamus. He just crunched the numbers. He know Trump bullshit. He know what's going on with illegal immigration. He know what's going on with, Negroes. White man know Negroes better than they know they self. I saw a video clip of a white man, some young white dude on social media. He was talking to this black chick, right? He posted the whole thing on social media. They post everything. He told her he was in the KKK. He was a reformed racist. He wanted her to suck his dick. And, he wanted to hit it raw and all this. You know what I mean? And she was like, ha, 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 right? For sure. I'm going to come over. This is the Negro woman in America today. And so black men, I'm sure they watching this like, this is total degradation. Right? This is total degradation. Total degeneracy. You can't make this shit up. So you watch, you just watch the total degeneracy. I'm just, from that standpoint. And the white dude was sitting there laughing. Look at this dumb black bitch. Dumb Negro. And he probably went and did what he said he was going to do on social media to her. Which ties into the whole, 60 to 80% of men being single, without relationships. Well, that type of shit is going on. It's just mixing in a pot like gumbo, right? Just a degenerate mix that's going to lead to the Civil War, right? Irreconcilable differences. Nobody want to live like this. Real men, men going to snap, and that's what Joe Rogan said. It's scary. Men is going to snap because they're going to be like, you know what? This shit is all bullshit. Like George Carlin said, it's all bullshit. It's all bad for you. And they're going to snap. Motherfuckers going to start snapping off. If it at 60 or 80% now, it can't get no worse. What are you going to say, 90 to 100? Well, when it gets to 100%, that's when it's going to, pop off. It's popping off now. Right? It's just that a lot of people can't really see it. Like my mother, she's like, sounds like a good story. Like, this ain't a movie. You a fucking goofy. You think this a movie? So you think, see, that's the problem with people, right? Like, I used to be like that. Don't be a motherfucker who you don't realize shit till the last minute, right? You don't realize shit going on till the last minute all the time. I was like that growing up when I was young. Could never figure out till the last minute. Hey, man, your girl cheating on you. What? Yeah, man, she been cheating on you for like a fucking year. Man, all this time I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Yeah, that ain't her cousin. You the last one to figure it out. All the fucking time. This not a situation where, I already know what's going to happen. I know it's not getting ready to. I see what's happening with these numbers and these single. I already know. You think it's going to be hard? Think about it this way, right? I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. Do you think this is a hard sell for any, once the shit get to popping, right? Do you think people will say, it's just like the Black Sheep song, you could get with this or you could get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. You better get with this, because that's kind of whack. Like that old Black Sheep song, right? The rap song. You think people gonna look at this shit, these men, and say, yeah, I want more of this? Or they gonna say, fuck this. Let's get it popping. Right? You can get with this or that. Which one you want? It ain't a hard sell. Motherfucker gonna say, you know what? Fuck this. Let's get it popping, G. I ain't with no more of this bullshit. Who trying to get it popping? And then that's when the shit just gonna go left. Once it start going left, it's gonna go all the way left. Because nobody gonna, they don't, that you can't sell them Obama no more, right? Oh, but you ain't gonna be able to sell the Negroes on Obama. That ship done sailed. So there's no, Negroes not gonna listen to no black leaders no more. Nobody at the church. They're not listening to Obama. They're not listening to Al Sharpton. You know what I mean? Like the ship has sailed. They don't give a fuck about the black caucus. They don't really give a fuck about Donald Trump. If niggas voted for him, they only did it out of spite for the people that they don't like in the Democratic Party, probably. So when this shit go left, it's going to splinter and then go all the way left. Like Ray Dalio said, because people got irreconcilable differences and they know that they've been totally fucked over and sold out. And they ain't got nothing to go back for, right? Well, let's go back to what, let's get back, what about this? They're going to be like, nah, I'm going to get with that. That's whack, right? I don't want to sit in the, I don't want to sit in the basement, play video games, you know what I'm saying, whack off no more. I'm tired of this, right? And somebody gonna, as that energy gets siphoned off into, certain areas, the shit gonna pop off. People gonna, somebody gonna tell them, hey man, listen, you ain't gotta sit there and do that. You wanna throw your life away like that? Hey, come over here and let me holler at you. And then shit gonna go left. And that's where it's going now. Anyway, man, I'm gonna leave it there. That's all I got.